Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Andrea Ali. I'm a professional makeup artist based in Paris. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about one of my favorite products that happens to be a little controversial, and that is powder. People have a love and hate relationship with powder, but I think that once you get it, you know how to use it, you know what tools to use, and you know which powder is the best one for you, you're gonna fall in love with this product, and it's going to be, if it's not already, indispensable in your makeup kit. Before we get into it, I wanted to let you guys know that this video is in partnership with Makeup Forever that I'm super excited to talk about. Now let's get into it. All right, now let's start with the very beginning. What is powder supposed to be doing? Powder mainly is supposed to mattify your skin, and then it's supposed to set your makeup in place. But it has other advantages and a lot of other uses that I'm going to talk about in this video. But those two things are the main things that powder is supposed to be doing: mattify your skin and set your makeup in place. Can everybody use powder? Absolutely. It doesn't really matter if you are dry or if you are very, very oily. There is a powder for everybody. And in the past, the powder used to be very visible on the skin. And I know a lot of you don't really use powder because you're afraid it will make your skin look very dry or it will emphasize the wrinkles around your eyes. But the truth is, the right powder and the right quantity makes a huge difference. So let's start with, how do you pick the right powder for you? You've got compact powder and loose powder. The difference between the two is the fact that the loose powder looks a lot more natural. You can literally play with the loose powder however you want. You would have to apply a lot of it in order for the powder to actually look, cakey on the face. But with compact powder, it's very easy, especially if you have a heavy hand, to apply a little bit too much and then to have that unnatural aspect of the skin. So if I would have to choose, I would go for loose powder because it's much more versatile. I can easily figure out, the quantity that I want to use, and it's just much more natural looking in general, in my opinion. With compact powder, it's more for your touch-ups. It's the powder that maybe you want to keep in your bag for small touch-ups, but I wouldn't apply compact powder, for example, all over the face. Does that make sense to you? Translucent or colored. A lot of people use translucent powder, but the truth is, it's not for everybody. Translucent powder can translate a little bit too light on some skin tones, and that's why I'm incredibly excited about the new Ultra HD setting powder from Makeup Forever, because it's a one-of-a-kind product. First of all, there is no other brand that created 15 different shades of loose powder. Because let's face it, we do have a variety of foundation colors, but when it comes to powders, the options are very limited. And this powder, you guys, you are going to love it if you like a matte finish, if you like a long-lasting powder, because this baby right here is 24-hour wear. It's sweat-proof, it's smudge-proof, it's waterproof, and it's super matte. So for those of you ladies who have oily skin, you're going to fall in love with this. So this powder, by the way, that's a lot of product in here. You've got 16 grams of powder. That is 0.56 ounces. That's a lot of product for powder. And then another exciting thing is that it comes with a powder puff. So when you buy the powder, this powder puff, it's included, and I love it. This is what it looks like. I love that it's not completely round and that it has this pointy shape, because you could, if you like, you could bake with it. Another thing that I love to do, if you don't like to carry a lot of makeup in your bag, you could put a little bit of powder on this powder puff, get it back into this little sleeve, and then have it with you in your bag. use it for touch-ups whenever you need it. You don't have to take the powder with you. Now this powder right here does not replace any of the existing powders from Makeup Forever. The new Ultra HD setting powder is so finely milled and it's talc based, so it's very different than the Ultra HD powder that you guys probably already know that is silica based, and it's really undetectable on the skin. It's all about the way you apply it. Now, how do you apply the powder for maximum results? If you have dry skin, you still want to use a little bit of powder to set your makeup in place, but I suggest you to use a very, very small powder brush like this one right here. You guys know I love this. And the reason why I like it so much is because it can get super close to the eye. It's really great to set the concealer. This is the shape that you need, in my opinion, to really set the under eyes or maybe around the nose or on the chin. If you have dry skin, maybe you don't want to apply powder all over the face, but definitely you want to set the concealer in place and you want to take a small amount, and then maybe you want to apply some powder on your nose and also on the chin, because usually the round places on our face, that's where foundation usually disappears. Another thing that I love about this powder is the fact that it blurs the pores. As soon as you apply powder, pores disappear. Powder in general has this ability, but with this new powder being so incredibly fine, it's just another level of powder. Another type of brush that I like to apply powder with in places like, let's say on my forehead or on my cheeks, would be this type of brush. So it's a little bit bigger, and I would recommend this if you have normal or oily skin. It does deposit a little bit more powder onto your skin. That's what I recommend you to use a natural, if you can, a natural bristle brush, and not too dense, so that the product is being spread very, very lightly. Now, the movement that you want to do when you apply powder is not the swiping motions, okay? Because that could, I'm not saying 100% you will, because it also depends on your hand, but it could disturb the foundation underneath. It could lift the foundation. What does that mean? So when you press too hard, right, on your face after you've just applied foundation with the powder, there is a risk for your foundation to get on the bristles, okay? So that's why I recommend you to do tapping motions. It takes a little bit more time, but I promise you it's so worth it. When it comes to colored powder, I strongly recommend you to have two colors, a lighter one for around the eyes and a color that matches your skin for the rest of your face. And today I was using number 2 vanilla for my under eyes, and then for the rest of the face I was using 2.1 light banana. It's just a little bit darker. The difference is not like huge. I absolutely love this powder. I think you would too. With a darker powder, I like to take a bigger brush and just apply everywhere on my face if I really want my makeup to last very well. I mean, this is very specific, but I use my helmet to get on the scooter with Alex. And you know, a lot of times you guys are asking me, how come your makeup does not rub, you know, on the sides of your helmet? And the truth is, the powder plays a huge role in it. So if you are on the bike, on a scooter, on a motorcycle, and you have to wear a helmet, I can tell you this is amazing. The powder is your friend. You will never have the product on the sides of your helmet. So that's just one of the reasons why I use powder every day all over my face in a very, very thin layer. Obviously under my eyes, I don't like to apply too much, and I think you shouldn't apply too much powder under the eyes, especially, you know, if you are over 30, because you will have wrinkles. I mean, if you don't, that's amazing, congratulations. But most of us do have wrinkles under the eyes. And if you apply too much powder, that's when it emphasizes the wrinkles, and that's when the skin looks a little bit too dry. So definitely the quantity plays a huge role. Now, a fourth accessory that you could apply powder with is the puff, and this is amazing if you like baking. So the powder puff, it's great for people who have oily skin especially. Oily skin tends to produce a lot of oil to the point that it breaks the foundation. You find yourself, applying your foundation, maybe applying a very light layer of powder, and in 2 hours your face is shining everywhere. And don't get me wrong, I love the dewy skin, but sometimes it can be too much. So for oily skin, this is magic. Just take a little bit of powder, press it into the puff, and then press it all over your face in a very thin layer. If you want to bake, this is amazing too. The baking technique, it's not something that is recent. People who are usually working in theater, like artists, ballerinas, singers, actors, they use a lot of powder, and they use this baking technique because it's really working. The truth is, under the super hot lights, the makeup will melt. So the baking, it's great for performers and also for people who have very oily skin. I don't think that baking is suitable if you have normal skin or dry skin. It will look like it's too much. Tips and tricks about powder that maybe you didn't know. If you have oily skin, you could use powder before using your foundation, not just at the end, but also before. What will the powder do? It will literally form like a barrier, and it will help your skin produce less oil. Not to mention that it will diminish the size of your pores, and overall your makeup is going to last so much longer. A second thing that I like to do with powder is to slightly dust the lower lashes right after you apply mascara. You know that some people have that type of eye shape, or there are people who have very long lower lashes, and it touches the skin right here. And with the mimic, with laughing, with the heat of our skin, the mascara usually melts and it starts to show in here. That's when I recommend you to use powder a little bit on the lower lashes, and that's an amazing tip for your mascara to not smudge under your eyes. Personal trick that I like to do every single time I do someone's makeup, it doesn't matter what type of skin they have. With the powder puff, after I've applied all the layers of makeup, everything, right at the end, I just come with a clean puff. I don't apply anything else, and just press it. Press all the layers together. That is an amazing tip to make your makeup last and to get the powder really into your skin. It's going to look so much more natural, because sometimes you will have the fuzziness of the skin, and some people have it less, some people have it more. And if you apply powder just a little bit, like barely touching the skin, sometimes that will not really get on top of your skin. It will stay on the peach fuzz of your skin. So press it with the powder puff. So really, powder mattifies the skin, sets your makeup in place, helps produce less oil. It could be a great primer. It could prevent your mascara from smudging under your eyes, and it also blurs the pores. Now, you've got so many reasons to start using powder if you haven't already, and I strongly recommend you the new powder from Makeup Forever. You guys are going to love it. Alright guys, this was Powder Explained. If you have any questions, please leave them in the description down below. I would love to answer you. Find the new Ultra HD Setting Powder from Makeup Forever in my description box. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you Makeup Forever for partnering with me in this video. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!